Welcome to Let the Ball Do the Work, the proper football podcast with me, Ben Littlemore, Sam Davey.
Hello.
And the little West Country imbecile that's Ollie Maynard.
How you doing?
Welcome to episode 2 of Let the Ball Do the Work. Me, Sam and Ollie are all here in a boiling hot studio. Our first topic today is going to be about Man City. Can they be the greatest Premier League team ever?
Yes, they can.
Why?
Certainly have the potential to be. Players like you have Aguero, Jesus, Kevin De Bruyne, best players around at the moment. They are really up there.
Strength in depth is amazing.
Absolutely. They are up there with some of the greatest players I've seen in the Premier League. And I know that's a big thing to say, but every single week Kevin De Bruyne seems to, he just has something that he seems to, every time he gets the ball, he's going to produce.
I think the fluidity in the team's unbelievable. The way they can change formation every week and the rotation in positioning between the attacking players. Even like the goals have been shared out so much. You've got Aguero's got 7, Sterling's got 7, Sane and Jesus have got 6 in the Premier League.
There we go.
That's 4 attacking players that are in the top 10 Premier League scorers. That's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
The thing is, I still think it's early days. I don't want to kind of quit while you're ahead.
What?
Quit while you're ahead?
No, I just feel like everyone's hyping them up. I think it's a long season. There's still a lot of games to be played and a lot of teams they can get unstuck about.
So my next question was going to be, is it a case of when will they have this year's titles wrapped up? You don't think it's like that?
I mean, I think you've got to start talking about the title around December, January time.
Think they'll have it won by then?
I don't know. I think they've definitely got the potential, and I agree with that. They've got an unbelievable team, and I think the players that played last year for Guardiola have made an unbelievable step up.
I think they're so far ahead. Horrible to say it, but I think Spurs are the closest team to them.
Yeah,
and I still think they're well off.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think, I think Manchester City will be the champions this year. And I think it will be done around Christmas time, going into January or February.
No, I don't think that early. I think March.
It'll be a lot. I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. I think there's still these Prem teams. I think a lot of the top Prem teams, United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, there was big changes, and I still think they're needing to gel. I think City have gelled quicker than them.
There was changes at City as well, though.
Yeah, no, but I think they've gelled a lot quicker. But I think because it's still early days, how many games are into the season? 10, 11 or so?
Yeah, but I say that prepared to eat my words, but I haven't seen a team like Manchester City in a very long time.
They had a very similar run last year. They had an unbeaten run last year.
It was different.
It is very different.
I know it's different, but
every
it's still,
week now.
But they could lose this weekend, and then they could
lose. Of course, any team could.
But they could go on a run, and then it kind of doesn't look the same.
I just think the way they're performing every week, everyone that watches them, everyone that's been at the game, all reporters I've heard and stuff, have just been absolutely amazed by what they've seen every week.
Exactly.
Even the 3-2 against West Brom, everyone just said they were amazing. That's just the way they move the ball.
Unbelievable.
Do they need to challenge in Europe? Can they challenge in Europe this season? You think no, Ollie? Ollie's shaking his head.
No, I still think I think they'll get to probably quarterfinals. I think that's their range.
I think they can go further than that.
I just think they'll come unstuck against these Real Madrids, PSGs, Barcelonas, which all the English teams have done in Europe for the last few years.
But are you saying that out of because we have built a reputation as a country that we can't necessarily produce, especially in the last since Chelsea were the last English team to win the Champions League,
and that was the biggest travesty of justice since sliced bread.
Exactly. And have we now built a reputation as a country that our domestic sides cannot challenge our European counterparts?
I don't think we can. I think
it's different now, though.
Good. I think Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, PSG, Juve are all better than them.
I disagree.
I disagree
with Bayern being better than them, for starters.
Let's see it when they draw them.
I mean, Tottenham went and drew at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, I mean, a team can have a good result, but I just think City's team is amazing. It's a very good team, but it's still quite fresh.
I mean, over the last 5 years, I've been a believer that English teams can't challenge in Europe and that we're really far behind them teams, but I think something's different with this Manchester City team now. I really think they could challenge.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. 100%.
They're unbeaten in 21 games in all competitions. They've won 17, drawn 4. The longest run without defeat in their entire history.
There we go.
What a job's Pep's doing.
He's done an amazing job because people were kind of giving him unfair criticism last year, saying, he's not this great man. And I think it kind of shows how good a manager he is, because
I think it's great as well that he hasn't changed.
No, he's stuck to his roots.
Stuck to what he believes in.
Yeah, exactly. And it's clicked. And City this season with a team that, if they're on the telly, I want to watch.
100%.
Exactly, and there we go. He has the ability. He did it at Bayern, he did it at Barcelona, and he's done it again at Man City. He has this way of instilling whatever philosophy he has into the players, and they buy into it. And that's the mark of a great manager.
It would have been easy for Pep Guardiola last year, when results weren't going their way, to change things, to maybe get them more assured at the back and focus on defence more on the way, and get the ball forward quicker and be more direct. But he didn't. He stuck to what he believes in, and now he's reaping the rewards for it. They've been absolutely brilliant.
100%.
I think he's taken a lot of risks that have paid off.
He has.
I think signing Stones was a risk, but I think he's improved under him. I think he's become a better defender.
Oh, he has.
I think anyone's going to improve under Pep Guardiola.
Yeah,
I'd love to play under Pep Guardiola.
And regularly dropping Aguero for Jesus, everyone would think mad, but it's unbelievable. Like he's not afraid to do what he believes in. It's kind of, he's running the club.
Again,
which you don't see a lot often.
Yeah, I've said it before. It's innovation. He's one of the only managers in the world that would have the cojones to go ahead and do it.
True in his word. Yeah, I think his vision is just unbelievable for what he sees in players. 35 goals in 10 games. Don't need that, do we? Apologies.
Certainly not.
Some of the results as well. Everyone says it's every game in the Premier League so difficult and stuff. They've beaten Liverpool 5-0. They've beaten Watford 6-0. Crystal Palace 5-0. Manchester City beat Stoke 7-2. Are they? Who do you think the greatest Premier League team ever has been? I would say the Arsenal Invincibles, because I think that achievement is just, I don't think it'll be repeated for a very long time.
Yeah.
But as much as even I think this Man City team is a great team, I don't think they'll repeat that feat of going unbeaten.
I think the Chelsea 04-05 team for me.
Very controversial.
I just think it was Arsenal's dominating, Man United dominating era, and Chelsea have just smashed through and
so did Blackburn.
Brought an up and coming manager and
money.
They got one of the biggest.
Do you not think it was convenient that Abramovich came in the year before?
I know. I think but money comes in, money helps towards that. But it's also a tactical genius, which Mourinho was at the time. I know you have opinions on him, but that tactical
bored the life out of me.
The team they had, everyone had a role.
Yeah, no, I have to, unfortunately, Ollie, I have to agree with Ben on this one. To go a whole season in the English Premiership and not be beaten, to me, is the greatest achievement.
I think so.
In any form of domestic football.
A lot of people would say the Man United team that won the treble, but let's not forget, I mean, they were 90 seconds away from losing that Champions League final. It wasn't just an amazing performance in the final. We put a poll up on our Twitter asking who you think the greatest Premier League team ever is. Man United got 0% of the votes. Arsenal, that invincible side, got 73% with the most, with that Chelsea team getting 18% and Man City now getting 9%. Next up is Ollie's Lower League Roundup.
It's Ollie's Lower League Roundup.
Yeah, we're going to start off with, as we always do, a bit of Plymouth.
As always.
I'd say it's an okay result. We drew 1-0 to Rochdale at home. That's now 4 games unbeaten for us. We still sit bottom.
Moving in the right direction, though.
Yeah, I think it was a game. We went 1-0 inside the first minute, which is a rarity, and I haven't seen that for a while. Joel Grant scored again.
You're raving about him,
for him. Yeah, no.
Sorry, it was a good goal.
Yeah, it was a good goal, and obviously Kerry has to get involved some way, so he got the assist again.
Of course he did.
Smashing it. If there was a League One fantasy football, you'd have Kerry straight in your side, wouldn't you?
You've got to. I just think he's kind of stepping up a bit, because start of the season he was very lacklustre, not really playing. But I think he did an interview last week saying how he needs to step up for the team, and by the looks of it, he's doing it. We're now 4 points out of the safety.
Out of the safety? You mean 4 points from safety?
From safety, yeah. And I think the teams around us, they're starting to collect a good few results, but the teams out of the relegation zone are starting to struggle a bit. So I feel like it could change in a couple of weeks. But we got the FA Cup at the weekend, get home to Grimsby, so hopefully we can get a little result there. I mean,
get a bit of money into the club.
Yeah, I'd like to get to the third round again. You never know who you may get. Moving on to League One, big story. Shrewsbury's unbeaten run
comes to an end.
Exactly. There was 15 games unbeaten before losing to Peterborough 1-0.
Great run.
It was a good run, and I've raved about them a couple of times. I personally didn't see it coming. I thought they'd be competing with Argyle, but I'd kill for that run.
Do you think that result could now send them on a bad?
I don't know. I think confidence is still surely going to be high. I think you can expect to go the whole season unbeaten in the lower leagues, but it's FA Cup again, so it's kind of a week off, so they can kind of think about what they're doing and then focus on league football. The other story, quite a good result. Gillingham, who are 22nd, beat Rotherham, who are competing for playoffs, 3-1 away,
Great result.
which I thought was a really good result for them. They really did need that.
Shame that, otherwise you wouldn't have been bottom, would you, if they'd lost?
We would have been joint. We still would have been bottom on goal difference.
Well,
but
no, not if they lost like 2-0.
Well, they won, so you can't really. It was
Shut up then.
all if buts and maybes.
Sorry for giving you a hard time, Gillingham, unnecessarily.
No, I mean, it's a bit frustrating when Argyle have been picking up good results the last 4 games and the other teams haven't. But moving on to League 2, Forest Green win again. I reckon they've ruined quite a few accumulators since their little run. It's through in the bounce for them.
Who did they defeat?
They beat, it was Morecambe 2-0 at home. It is 3 wins in a row for them. And they climb out relegation finally after been there for a while. And the final story in League 2, Notts County go top after a 3-0 win at Newport, and they've shocked me as well. They didn't really spend that much money, but they're sitting pretty at the top, and long may it continue.
First ever professional club that's still playing. Be nice to see them back in League 1.
It would.
Yep.
That's Ollie's Low League Roundup. In our next topic, we are going to discuss Real Madrid. What's going wrong?
I don't think anything's going wrong particularly.
What, you don't think a 2-1 to defeat Girona is going wrong at Real Madrid?
No, I think it's too early to say. And out there.
So you don't think there's a crisis at Real Madrid yet?
Certainly not. No.
Okay, I agree.
I think definitely in La Liga over the past few years and the last decade or so, Barcelona and Real Madrid in particular do tend to have these rough patches. And
they do seem to bounce back.
They do seem to bounce back. So yeah, I definitely think it's too early to say that they're in some sort of crisis or that it's drastically going wrong for Real Madrid. And next minute we'll be hearing Zidane's under pressure for his job. I think it's ridiculous.
Absolutely not. I think one thing that they have struggled with a little bit this season compared to last is the strength in depth. They let go a lot of superstars really last season. Morata, Danilo, Pepe, and James Rodriguez all left.
Yeah. And
they replaced some of them in what I'd argue with better players in Marco Asensio and Isco getting more game time.
Yeah.
But I think Morata, he came off the bench to win them, I think 9 points last season with his goals.
Yeah.
And he was someone that they turned to quite often to come and sort them out from the bench and really just give them that. I think they struggled up front. I don't think Benzema's he's had a bad patch of form.
Yeah. And
when that was happening last season, they could bring Morata in when Benzema wasn't having his best run of games.
Definitely.
I think that might come back to haunt them a little bit, letting Morata go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think they've also lost quite a big leader in Pepe. I know he's getting on a bit, but I think that's a player you kind of need in squads.
Yeah, he's a winner.
For that, yeah,
definitely.
For that, he's been through Real Madrid for years. He knows that spirit, and he would have been a massive character and a big leader for a lot of these players to bring in. And losing that, it's like when Puyol left at Barcelona, and I don't think it's wrong. I think they've let go of a few players that probably could have done a job for them, and they need that because who they got up front, Benzema and that Mayoral.
Borja
Mayoral, yeah. And I've seen a couple of games. I saw him when he scored those 2 goals when they won away from home. He looked all right, but I just think Morata has.
I can understand the James one because he was unhappy and he wasn't willing to sit on the bench. I know Morata wants to play first team football every week as well.
Yeah.
But I think they could have maybe integrated Morata and Benzema so that they sort of share that striker's role.
Yeah, definitely.
And that would have worked.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a great point about the loss of Pepe. I mean, he was definitely a big leader, and he had a partnership with Sergio Ramos that was. I mean, if you're an opposition coming up at
you feel for the striker playing against them too, don't you?
You know you're coming up against
Ramos trying every trick in the book.
There we go. So I definitely agree with that.
I absolutely could not have foreseen Real Madrid being 8 points behind Barcelona at this point. When I watched the both Super Cup games, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, and Real Madrid looked worlds ahead of Barcelona. They were unbelievable. The way they were moving the ball, the way they can shift under pressure. You press them, but they're so intelligent, the players, to get out. They all on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I thought Barcelona would really struggle this season. Yeah. Obviously, they lost Neymar. They didn't replace him. I didn't know much about Valverde, and I wasn't convinced. But I've been really impressed. He's really changed the style of play.
Yeah.
Under Luis Enrique, it was very direct. The players would just get the ball to Neymar, Suarez, and Messi as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And then just let them just ruin opponents, and it was brilliant to watch.
Yeah.
I really will miss that trio.
Definitely.
But he's had to change things because obviously losing Neymar, which he wouldn't have wanted to.
No.
He's handled that well. He's brought Messi into a more central role, and they've gone back to playing more under the sort of style they played under Guardiola. It's quite a slow build-up play.
Yeah.
They just look to get the ball to Messi's feet in a central role, and then let him take over. But it's working it through the midfield a lot more.
Yeah.
But Barcelona have been very impressive so far, and they've played some decent teams as well. Going to win at 2-0 at Bilbao, it's not an easy place to go.
No.
They rode their luck a bit. Ter Stegen made some great saves.
Yeah.
Busquets actually credited him with the victory. But yeah, and then not some easy more tough games. Coming up for Real Madrid. They've got Tottenham away in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Then Las Palmas at home, which they probably should win. Then they go away to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Then away to Apoel in the Champions League. So it's definitely not as easy as a lot of people, including myself, thought things could be for Real Madrid this season.
Certainly not.
But I certainly don't think there should be pressure on Zidane.
No, I do. It's definitely
What a
not.
job he's done.
Absolutely. I think that would be crazy. But unfortunately, in this day and age in football, that tends to be the way it goes. I mean, Atletico Madrid's going to be a huge game for them. In terms of the title race, if Atletico, if Atletico,
Get it out, mate.
I do apologise, can get one over on Real Madrid, that's going to be massive for them, and that could really
Atletico Madrid's still unbeaten on the same amount of points on 20, but still unbeaten. 5 draws.
That could really stunt Real Madrid's season. That.
Do you think maybe the politics at the moment in Spain has played a part? Girona, obviously, in Catalonia.
Yeah.
Do you think all the players were really spurred up because they felt like they were fighting for Catalonia in that game? Do you think that could have played a part?
I think that comes into it. It's also links in with Barcelona as well, how well they've done with the crisis. So I think
that they're really fighting for Catalonia.
I think it comes down. Yeah, I think it's passion. It's awful what's happening, but it's kind of being turned into a positive almost.
Yeah,
which is nice to see. It's not that they're going down, going, oh, we're all this crisis is happening and we're struggling. They're going, you know what? Let's fight for these fans who are probably going through a horrific time right now.
I agree.
I still maintain though that the current 2 best teams in the world are Real Madrid and Barcelona.
And I think it would be very difficult for me to disagree.
I think PSG are doing great things. I think Man City are doing great things. But I still feel like them 2 teams are just
I feel the team. I see Man City and PSG. I think they're still a work in progress. Whereas I feel Barcelona and Real Madrid are.
Yeah,
the real
I think
deal.
Exactly. Yeah, I think PSG and Man City have the potential to one day, if they're going the way they're going, be that good. But at the moment, it would be very hard for me to disagree with those 2 teams as being the best.
And all in all, no matter what happens at Barcelona, no matter who comes in or who goes out, Lionel Messi absolutely destroys everyone. Next up is Sam's Championship Roundup. Sam's Championship Roundup.
This is my Championship Roundup, and as always, we start with Bristol City.
As always.
Away to Sunderland on Saturday, a 2-1 victory, very hard fought from us. Performance-wise, apparently we weren't that great and were brought down to Sunderland's quality. Unfortunately, Sunderland fans, you're not going so well at the moment.
I agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't been great so far, and unfortunately, Bristol City didn't really put a great show on, but, a hard-fought win, we take the 3 points there. Tuesday night against Fulham, away at Craven Cottage. We have a good record there, and we've been good. Bobby Reed netted his 9th of the season in a 2-0 victory. Very, very good for us. And that is 1 loss in 12 league games for us now. 4th in the league.
Very impressive.
We're looking good. Great stuff from Bristol City. Moving on to Sunderland again.
Bleak times.
Simon Grayson has faced the sack. Unfortunately,
paid the ultimate price.
He has.
It's hard to argue with it.
It is.
It's harsh on him because he's inherited a very hard job.
Definitely. Is it an impossible job?
I think so at the moment.
It's sort of like kind of Blackburn vibe
when
they were kind of flirting.
Yeah.
There's just a real bad feeling at the club at the moment.
There is.
I mean, not a league win at home since December last year.
It's unbelievable.
Don't get a season ticket.
What were you saying the attendance was?
Ready for this one?
Go on.
At the Bristol City game on Saturday, 20,000 empty seats.
That's unbelievable. Jesus. And they're good fans usually, Sunderland, but this is what they've been brought to.
27,000 were at the game on Saturday. Stadium of Light has a capacity of 48,000. So
actions speak louder than words.
There we go. So, yeah, without a win in 13 league games and a 3-3 draw with Bolton Wanderers was the last time Simon Grayson was in the dugout for them. Queen's Park Rangers.
What a few days for them.
Absolutely, 2 massive wins for them in a matter of days after going 7 without a win. No win in 7, and they pick up a 2-1 win against Wolves and a 1-0 win against Sheffield United, who are both absolutely flying at the moment. Takes them up to 12th in the Championship.
There was pressure starting to come on to Ian Holloway, wasn't there?
There was.
What a reaction from him.
Yeah, my fellow Bristolian has really picked himself up off the ground, shaken off the dust, and
it's a cracking 6 points there.
Definitely, they could be going on a bit of a run here. So, yeah, looking good for QPR.
That was Sam's Championship Roundup. Earlier on, I caught up with former West Ham striker Dean Ashton, ex-Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clarke, and Coventry's Dave Bust to reveal the injury struggles of Gunners and England midfielder Jack Wilshere. These are familiar sounds for Arsenal's Jack Wilshere. A lonely medical room, a more commonplace than the pitch in recent years. With the 25-year-old completing just 1 full Premier League game in the last 3 seasons for the Gunners, his undoubted talent has clearly been held back by injuries. Former Gunners midfielder Adrian Clarke put no limit on Jack Wilshere's potential, but said he must avoid more wounds to fulfil that.
I always perceived the potential of Jack Wilshere as being similar to Paul Gascoigne. I think the only way he fulfills his potential now is if he gets lucky with injuries and stays fit for an entire season or 2.
One man who had his career ended by a horrific injury was former West Ham striker Dean Ashton, and he told us just how difficult recovery can be.
It's incredibly difficult getting over the injury itself, so physically it's demanding. You've got to go through the pain barrier often to get the results, to get back on the pitch, which is difficult. You feel guilty at times because you're not able to help your teammates, help the club that's paying you. That can be difficult to handle.
Former Coventry defender Dave Bust, who also had his livelihood cut short through injury, said the mental side of recuperation can't be ignored.
Because you have your dark days, you have your ups, your downs, and generally it's when you're not doing anything, when you're bored and you don't get time to think, and if you're on your own a lot. Depending on what sort of person you are, there's a lot of talk about, mental health at the moment, and, that's been there forever.
We got a medical view on the struggle of regaining fitness from serious injury from physiotherapist Stuart Wiley.
Typical footballers' injuries are knees and ankles. We do lots of rehab. The key thing is with pretty much all injuries is enough rehab to allow that person to go back to playing. So that means the ankle's strong. The ankle, when that footballer can go out and jump for the first time, they've done it in their rehab.
So, injury really can plague the very best talents into having just mediocre careers. Let's hope Jack Wilshere isn't its next victim.
Jack Wilshere, Cazorla, Giroud again, Jack Wilshere! It's stunning from Arsenal!
Name the lineup.
This is Name the Lineup, where each contestant will have 60 seconds to name a famous cup final lineup. This week it is European Cups, and Sam has Manchester United of 1999 Champions League winners, and his 60 seconds starts now.
Right, okay. It's got to be Schmeichel in goal. I believe Gary Neville was playing. I'm going to go Gary Neville. Jaap Stam. Left back, Dennis Irwin. Who played at the back with Stam in that game? I'm gonna go Laurent Blanc. Midfield of Beckham. I believe Giggs was playing. I'm not entirely sure. Keane and Scholes. I'm gonna go with. I think that might be wrong though. Up front, we got a few. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Teddy Sheringham.
You got 10 seconds.
I'm gonna go Sheringham, but I think he came on as a sub. I'm not sure. Cole. Yeah, that's it.
That's that. Okay, cool.
That's it.
Okay.
Right.
So,
am I gonna call out what
yeah,
I've written down?
call out what you got. Start from the keeper.
Right.
Start from the back.
Right. Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah, that's right.
Gary Neville.
Yep.
Jaap Stam.
Yep.
Laurent Blanc.
Nope.
Yeah, I think he came in after. Who was it?
What, as
Who
centre
played
half?
there?
Who played there? Ronnie Johnson.
Oh, I was going to say Ronnie Johnson
Yep.
as well. Dennis Irwin,
Yep.
David Beckham,
Yep, Beck's played.
Ryan Giggs,
Giggs did too, yep.
Roy Keane. Oh no, I think he was suspended.
Roy Keane didn't play, no.
He was suspended. Paul Scholes,
Nope.
brilliant. Andy Cole,
Yep.
and Teddy Sheringham.
No.
No, he came on as a sub, didn't
Yeah.
he? Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer start?
No, he didn't.
Was it Dwight York?
Yeah, it is Dwight York. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, just quickly go through the team. Schmeichel, Neville, Johnson, Stam, Irwin, Giggs, Beckham, Butt, Blomqvist, York, and Cole.
Okay, great.
Cool.
How many did I get?
I believe you got 7.
Right, cheers.
And now on to Ben. He has the 2002 Real Madrid side that won the Champions League. And his minute starts now.
I don't know if Casillas was there for that. I'm going to put him down for now. Hierro would have played at the back, I think. Salgado, right back. Ramos wouldn't have been there yet. Right, Zidane, obviously. Figo, did he play? Morientes. Fat Ronaldo. Wasn't so fat then. Bollocks. Who else played at the back? Who was the fullback? I'm going to put McManaman down. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who else was going forward? Ronaldo, Figo.
You got 10 seconds.
Zidane. Nah. Not good.
And that's that.
That wasn't a good showing for
Okay.
me. Let myself down there.
Well, we'll have a look, won't we? So let's start from the back.
Was it Casillas in goal?
It wasn't.
Great.
It was Cesar.
Salgado?
Yep.
Hierro?
Yep.
Ramos, I know he didn't play.
No.
McManaman?
No.
Zidane?
Yep.
Figo?
Yep.
Morientes?
Yep.
Fat Ronaldo?
No.
There we go then. It's a poor showing.
Okay. Well, the team was Cesar, Salgado, Hierro, Helguera, Carlos, Makalele, Figo, Solari, Zidane, Raul, and Morientes.
I've not got Raul. I've not got Roberto Carlos. And I've not got Makalele. I should be ashamed of myself.
So you've got 5.
I'm ashamed.
Well, there's nothing you can do now.
Cheers.
And now it's Ollie's turn. He has the Arsenal side that lost the 2000 Europa League final.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go... We started.
Yeah, you start now,
Seaman in goal. I'm going to go Martin Yon, defence. I normally go for like a 4-3-3 to get 4 midfielders, 3 attackers sort of thing. Because then you can kind of like they link in. Who'd have been right back? 2000. Let's go Lauren because you said he was a legend. Nyon, Adams, surely. Left back, would it have been Cole? We'll put him in. Midfielders, it's got to be Vieira, surely. I feel like I'm a bit early, I don't know. Vieira, I reckon Petit would have played. Petit. Vieira, Petit, let's go into attackers. Henri, maybe Carnu. And I'm also thinking, I know this is a long shot, but I know he's around then. Bit of Franny.
You got 10 seconds.
Jeffers. This would be a full team then if I get one more midfielder. Vieira, Petit, Youngberg. Let's go for it. Yeah, I've got a full 11.
Okay, cool. All right, who have you got? Start from the back.
All right, I'm going to start with David Seaman in goal.
That's true.
All right, I've gone for Laurent at right back.
Nah, there.
Thought not, he wouldn't have been there. Nyon, centre back.
Yep. Keown was centre back.
Yeah.
That's true.
Tony Adams.
Yep.
Ashley Cole.
No.
Vieira.
Yep.
Petit.
Yep.
Youngberg.
No.
Henri.
Yep.
Carnu.
No.
Jeffers.
Nope.
Oh, I mean, that's 6 again.
Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. I'll go through the team real quick. Seaman in goal.
Mm-hmm.
Dixon, Adams, Keown, Silvinho, Parler, Petit, Vieira, Overmars, Omri, and Bergkamp.
Bergkamp, that's the only one I probably should have got. But yeah, not bad.
You take that?
Take that.
All right, there you go then. All right, everyone's back in the studio and the results are in. And in third place, with the Real Madrid team of 2002 is Ben, and he got 5.
I let myself down. I really apologise to everyone out there. All right, I'm a piece of shit.
That means in second is Ollie.
Yes.
And
I'm glad you didn't. Oh.
he had the Arsenal team that lost the Europa League final in 2000. And that means Sam wins it with the Man United team of 1999.
He's got the by far easiest question, but I still should have done a lot better. How many did Sam get?
Sam got 7. Ollie got 6, and you got 5.
Oh, I should have. If I'd said Raul, if I'd said Makalele, and if I said Roberto Carlos, I'd have won.
I missed out on Bergkamp, and I put Francis Jeffers.
He put
and
Franny Jeffers in there.
That's unbelievable.
I should have had more, to be fair.
Martin Neon. I've never heard of Martin Neon.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, multiple times.
Unbelievable. All right, well, as we've said, whoever wins at the end will have a crate bought from them, from both other players. Sam now has 1 point, Ollie has 1 point. I'm trailing behind on 0, but I'll turn things around. In our next topic, we are going to discuss international eligibility and players England may have missed out on. Are England missing out on world-class talent?
I wouldn't say world class, but I've done a bit of digging and I found some players that, could have qualified for England, and I believe in this current England side could do a really good job.
Go on.
Ben Woodburn.
I mean, you think he should be starting for England now?
Not starting, but I think
in the future.
Yeah,
Okay.
he qualifies for Wales through maternal grandmother. However, he was born in Chester, so he was born in England. He's in the Liverpool academy. His grandmother's got affiliations. I think he should be playing his England setup, playing for the youth sides that are doing so well. Another one, Victor Moses. I think he represented England at youth level for all the ranks, and then decided to move on to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I think maybe at the time when he was representing youth levels, he wouldn't have been England calibre. But look at him now. He's really redeemed himself at Chelsea. The other one, this is one I passionately feel about, Wilfried Zaha.
Yeah, I think we missed a trick there.
Again, he played at youth level. He was called up to the senior side, making 2 friendly appearances, but they don't necessarily count as caps. So he is eligible, and that's why he moved to Ivory Coast.
What was ironic was Big Sam didn't pick him when he was England manager, and then he took over at Crystal Palace and lost Zaha for 2 months to the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah, it's really
come back to bite him. Yeah. It really has. I feel quite strongly about this. I think if you represent a nation from, I'd probably put it at under 18 level, you play for that nation.
Yeah.
You've made that decision to play for that nation. You can't then change depending on your playing ability. There's an example with Bojan Kurikic that played at Barcelona and Stoke. He chose to play for Spain, where he spent a lot of his time growing up. He's also eligible to play for Serbia, but he chose to play for Spain, played 1 game in a qualifier, and never represented them again. He applied last year to see if he can go play for Serbia, and he rightly got denied that. He can't just decide now that he doesn't get in that Spain team that he wants to go to Serbia.
No, of course
it's not. It's not that he feels more Serbian now. He feels like he wants to represent them more. It's that he can't get in that Spain team. If he was playing for Spain, he would have no problem. Serbia would be in the last of his worries.
Yeah.
You've made that decision. I don't think it should be where you're born, because if you grow up somewhere, you may feel, say you're born in Nigeria and you move to South Africa when you're 1. When you're 18, you may feel like you're more South African and you want to represent them more. But once you've made that decision at under 18 level to play for a country, you've got to commit to that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah.
Well, I found some more that kind of did the changing thing. Obviously, the big one, most famous one, Diego Costa. Born in Brazil. Born in Brazil, but moved to Spain. He did play 2 friendlies for Brazil, but due to when he was playing the friendlies, Brazil hosting the World Cup, they didn't have qualifying games. All the games they played were friendlies, so he's eligible to move. And then he got the Spanish passport by playing for Atletico. I don't agree with the passport nonsense. That's one. And this also happened with Jonathan de Guzman, this one is by far the maddest one. He was born in Canada and is from Jamaican and Filipino heritage, but only played for Holland after acquiring a passport as well. That's another one.
He grew up in Holland though, didn't he?
Yeah, he grew up in Holland, but I just don't agree with it whatsoever.
Why should you deprive him? If he spent most of his childhood in Holland, everything he's been given, all his opportunities in football have come from Holland. He might feel like he should be representing the Netherlands. Why should you deprive him of that?
But I can understand if it's family, heritage, but he's got no connections to Dutch or Holland whatsoever. So why is he playing for them?
But if he's lived there,
if he's grown up there, he does.
My only thing is, if he does commit to play for Holland, then he can't change his mind. That's my view. I mean, he can't then go and play for Canada.
I must say, my mum's Irish. So, and if I was brought up, if I was taken over to Ireland when I was 5, and grew up in Ireland until I started playing international football or professional football at 16. The chances are I'm going to choose to play for Ireland.
And even if your parents aren't from there, if I got moved to Spain when I was 4 years old, I then got given an opportunity in, say, Barcelona's La Masia.
Yeah.
I came through the ranks there. They gave me chances at first team level. They really gave money to my family. They sorted me out, and I came through there, and I had the opportunity to play for Spain. I would want to. I feel more Spanish than I would English because I've grown up there.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
But then when I've made that decision, I've got to commit to it.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with that.
It's crazy the amount of brothers you see representing different nations, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the Xhaka brothers for Albania and Switzerland.
Yeah.
The Boateng brothers, Kevin Prince and Jerome for Germany and Ghana. Rafinha and Thiago Alcantara, Brazil and Spain.
It's amazing,
isn't it?
Well, with the Xhaka brothers, both of them actually played for Switzerland at youth level. But Torlan, I think that's how you pronounce it. He only played for Albania because the parents were Kosovo Albanian. But they moved to Switzerland before Torlan's birth.
Oh, okay.
So he actually grew up in Switzerland and didn't play. And I think that one, in my opinion,
sense.
I think it kind of moves into the Bayern thing. I think the Torlan one is because he wasn't good enough to get into the
I think
Swiss
that's what it
squad.
is.
I think that's the thing.
Players are basing it on their ability, which isn't right because that's not.
It's not right at all.
That doesn't mean you're not going to have that passion for that country.
You should pick the country.
Exactly. Feel like you're from there.
And if you're not good enough to play for the country,
that's it.
Tough. It's international football. It should be the pedigree, but it's not anymore.
Do you think that England should be trying to do more to sort of, it's a frowned on word at the moment, but tap up young players?
100%.
You do?
100%. I think England, our football setup as a nation has to do more to stop players like Wilfried Zaha.
But then again, why? If Zaha feels like he's from Nigeria, why should you deprive him of that?
Yeah, but he's not being deprived. It's a sense of there must be something. There must be some sort of reputation or something that we've built up again as a nation, which seems to happen a lot in this country. The players aren't attracted to play for us.
Well, it comes down to Southgate was the under-21s manager, and now he's senior manager. How many people has he brought up from that squad? Rashford, Kane, who are already in the squad, and probably the only one he's brought in is James Ward-Prowse, and he's not going to be starting in England anytime soon.
No,
there's no.
There's been a lot of questionable decisions from Southgate.
Well, there's no follow-on, and right now the crop of English players we've got, with the success we've had, how many of them are going to be playing for different countries come the time? Because
so you think that under-17 squad? Do you think they could be cherry-picked? Is that what you're saying?
I think 100%,
they're not given that chance early enough.
Well, because they're early in their career, they really want to play as much football as possible, and if they get cherry-picked by countries they're eligible to play for, and England opportunities aren't coming, of course they're going to go. But it comes down to why isn't.
I think the setup certainly needs looking at. You look at Redmond, who's played 90 games or whatever for the under-21s.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, exactly. But then it also comes in domestically as well, as we were talking about last week between France and England, with how many of the under-20s have made Premier League appearances this season compared to the French. There's a big difference. Double the amount of French players have made first team appearances in either the Bundesliga or Liga this season. So it's something needs to happen.
We seem to be doing a lot wrong, really, don't we?
We do.
Next up is don't talk shit.
Stop talking fucking shit, Ollie. You're talking absolute bollocks again.
Right, we're now doing don't talk shit, where Ollie has 1 minute to talk about whatever subject he wants without interruption. Over to you, Ollie. Don't talk shit.
Well, this week is something I overheard. I was walking down the street, and it got me thinking. This happens hell of a lot. It's private jokes. I don't think they should be used ever, because people come up to you and they'll say something funny and you don't get it. They go, "Oh, it's a private joke." Well, brilliant. What's the point in that? Everyone's got all these private jokes and they say them out in public and they expect people to laugh when they don't understand it because it's a private joke. Two people walking on the street talking to us and they went, "Oh, they were talking to us, it's such a private joke, he, all just us two." Nah, fuck off. Honestly, it grinds me so much because I'm out of the conversation. Then I'm not in the conversation. It's kind of moves over to them two, and it happens a hell of a lot. And everyone has them when they don't need to. Make the jokes public, because public jokes are funny jokes. Private jokes, tell me a private joke you've laughed at. Both of you, you haven't.
I don't even have an opinion on what you just said.
I don't know where to start.
But do you know what I
it's
mean?
not that much of a problem though. If you're
It
hanging
is,
around with
it's
certain people, if you're hanging
horrendous.
around with little bitchy people, you might get a lot of private jokes.
But why is
And
it
I agree
private
that
jokes?
it's
But they
pointless,
expect
but
you to laugh, and
you-
then when you don't laugh, they go, "Oh, it's a private joke." No, you don't get it anyway.
You say it like it's an
so
epidemic.
Stupid. It is. It's
Yeah,
an
like
epidemic.
it's really the root of all of the world's
It's
problems
a big.
right
It's
now.
a big social problem.
As for leaving you out of the conversation, that's probably for the best, isn't it?
No,
The amount of drivel that fucking flies
Well,
out your mouth.
if I'm there,
Bollocks.
I think everyone has private jokes when they don't need them.
I kind
Explain
of agree
them
with
then.
that.
When would you ever need a joke?
To lighten the mood. You know, jokes are good.
This
I
is-
love a good joke. I love public jokes. I love all
But
that.
your private jokes really-
Private jokes
really
aren't that big a
unlighten
thing.
the
I can't
mood.
remember the
They
last
are.
time I heard, since probably at school was the last time I heard someone say that.
No, it happens.
Who
to
are
me
you
all the
hanging around
time.
with? That was Don't Talk Shit.
Oh, darling, have you got any other business?
This is AOB's Any Other Business, where we discuss all the other stories that have interested us in sport and mostly football during the week. We're going to start off with the great Lewis Hamilton. Sam, tell us a bit about what happened.
Well, Lewis Hamilton has claimed his 4th World Championship title, which is just amazing. He is the greatest British Formula One driver in history.
You think?
100%. It is now he is
Gone ahead of
overtaken-
Jackie Stewart.
He has overtaken Sir Jackie Stewart's 3 world titles, and yeah, Lewis out of it, he's put in such an amazing to bounce back from last season to bounce back from last season where he lost to Nico Rosberg in such style. You really have to admire him for that. And I
Guess-
know a lot of people don't like Lewis Hamilton.
I don't know why. I don't know why he gets his bad press.
Yeah.
People maybe think he's arrogant, but
Yeah.
you've got to have a bit of arrogance to get to the top, and it's never over arrogant, I find.
No, definitely. And what I find with Lewis Hamilton is he will go off and live the lifestyle that he lives, and he'll come back on a race weekend. And do you ever see him off colour or off the pace? Never.
He's always really
He's
focused.
always on it. When it's time for him to be focused, he is on it, and he is a 4-time world champion. And I expect to see more from him.
One thing I will say is I hope he stays motivated, because if he carries on at this level till he's 40,
Yeah.
I think he could beat Schumacher's record of 7 championships.
If he stays till 40, I definitely think so.
Right. Next up, AJ defeated Takam at the weekend in the 10th round. Thoughts on that?
I was a bit disappointed on that, to be honest, because I generally thought let's face it, Takam was the reserve.
Yeah.
To taking him to the 10th round, when I was quite shocked when I saw it. You know, I would have said he could probably. To be fair to Takam, he's a tough guy. Some of the punches he took were unreal.
I feel like though Joshua could have ended that early.
Yeah,
I agree with
I
that.
think he wanted to give people. I think it was a little bit of he wants to give people their money's worth.
I agree with that. Takam was an
Takam-
absolute warrior.
Yeah, he done brilliantly. I'm not taking anything away from him,
Yeah.
but I think Joshua had that. He could have gone to another. He could have
Yeah.
stepped into another gear.
He was in control for the whole fight.
Hmm.
I think if you looked at I guarantee you now, if you look at most of the judges' scorecards over those 10 rounds, Joshua would have won every single one of them.
unless you got the Glockin ref, she would have given it to Takam.
Brilliant.
Let's move on. Who do you think should get the Everton job?
Do you know what? I think Sean Dyche is a cracking shout. I think he's done a really good job at Burnley with limited resources.
Absolutely.
Give him those resources. It's defensive stability, which I believe Everton need, and he's got that to a T. And I think with a bit more resort, he can bring the right players. Maybe not to step Everton to the level they were expected with Koeman, but definitely to a level where Everton fans would be happy with the way they'd be going. I think Sean Dyche is the one for me.
I think it depends on Everton's ambition as a football club. Let's face it, they're in a bit of a dogfight for relegation, and Sean Dyche is probably the best man to take them to a mid-table finish. However, I think if they've had a lot of investment. I think if they do want to take it to the next level and challenge for them Champions League spaces, I'm not sure Dyche should be the right man for that.
No,
I think
I
maybe
agree.
you've got to be looking abroad, unfortunately, and I do hate to say that because I think you should give chances.
Yeah, because I agree with that, because I definitely think Sean Dyche would be a good short-term option. But would he leave what he has built at Burnley to go to Everton until the end of the season? And that I can't see Sean Dyche building anything particularly special at Everton.
Do you
in the
think
future.
you don't think Unsworth should get the job?
I don't think Unsworth should get the
He's
job.
not covered himself in glory in his first 2 games, but I am a believer that I like the route he's taken. Going into moving up the youth levels and getting to under 23s and being successful, winning Premier League 2.
Yeah.
I think that is a viable route
There's a
to
lot to be
management.
said for it.
But yeah, I'm not sure he's the right man for the job in their current situation.
No, I mean, as a championship connoisseur, as it were, I would like to see Nuno Espirito Santo get some sort of a look in there. I know he's been approached, and it seems that what he's building at Wolves is, it's too good for him to, at the moment at Wolves, for him to accept any sort of role at Everton. But I think he'd do a good job there.
We're now going to move on to a bit of a Champions League roundup. The games haven't quite kicked off yet today on Wednesday, but we'll talk about the Tuesday's games. We're going to start off with Chelsea, 3-0 defeat in Roma. Real humbling.
Definitely.
The Italians.
Shocking, yeah, and some of the pictures I've seen of the Chelsea defending and videos, it's just ridiculous how a Conte defence, in some of the positions they were in, could actually do that. And it was a result I didn't see coming, but, I mean, Roma scored 3 at their place and 3 again, so...
I think they were hugely fortunate that Atletico Madrid failed to beat Qarabag. Because if Atletico Madrid win that, they're just 2 points behind, and there's just 3 points separating Roma, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid.
Could be in trouble.
Atletico look like they're probably going to crash out now.
Yeah.
But a great result for Roma. They had a really tough group there with Chelsea and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
And they look like they're going to come through it.
Yeah, I think out of the 3 of them, you would have expected Roma to have finished third out of those 3.
Other English side, in action. Manchester United, another routine 2-0 win against Benfica.
Boring.
Not much to get excited about.
Boring.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Celtic certainly didn't embarrass themselves.
Probably good showing.
2-1 at home to Bayern Munich, defeat.
Yeah.
But for the level Celtic are at, it's probably the best they could have done. Probably the most you could have asked from them.
Yeah, you've got to give them a little bit of credit there.
Elsewhere in that group, PSG, another 5-0 win.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Too good.
Still haven't conceded in the Champions League. Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
Really is.
Unbelievable.
Other results were... Just pause it. I've lost my page.
Result for them.
Other results: CSKA Moscow winning in Basel. Barcelona held Olympiacos, a surprising one there, and Juventus also held at Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
So the 2 minnows doing themselves justice in them games.
100%. Great result for them.
Good results, yeah.
That was any other business.
Team of the Week.
This is our Team of the Week, where we pick the best players from the weekend's Premier League games. Goalkeeper Sam will take you through the goalie, Ollie through the back 4, myself through the midfield, and we will share out the forwards. So, Sam, who's in goal?
In goal this week is, deservedly so, Joe Hart.
Yeah.
I agree.
Had an absolutely amazing performance against Crystal Palace.
Despite conceding 2 goals.
Despite conceding 2, it could have been a lot more had he not been in the form that he is in, and it's nice to see him in such good form. If you ask me, he's taken a lot of flack, he's had a lot of stick, and it's nice to see him in our Team of the Week.
Fair enough.
Yeah, moving on to the defence. Talking of another team that's conceded 2 goals, City. But I think Walker, who's included as our right back,
Yeah, he was brilliant.
I think he's going to be included offensively.
Yeah, lovely assist.
He was fantastic, but he never stopped bombing on. He's always looking for these underlapping runs, which City are playing, and got the assist. It was a good assist, and he seems to be a really good creative link for City, which
I think just that athleticism in the fullback positions has really opened up space for the more creative players going forward.
Yeah, 100%.
It's stretching the pitch, and it's a cause of Man City's great play.
Yeah, the other centre back we've got gone for Ryan Shawcross.
The first centre back, but
I think he's done really well. It's a good result for Stoke. I don't think many were expecting it.
Watford have been in good form,
and exactly, and to shut out a strong offensive Watford team.
Yeah,
to shut them out. And really shut them out. I think fair play to them.
If you say shut them out one more time, the listeners are going to kill themselves.
Shut you out.
They didn't record a shot on target, and I think that's due to Ryan Shawcross's performance.
Yeah, stalwart performance from him.
Yeah, this centre back isn't a centre back, but due to the left back we're putting in, we've got to bring him in. It's Kolasinac.
Great game.
Had a fantastic game. Scored the goal and got the assist.
Yeah.
And he was just a real menace.
Force.
Yeah, he was a menace for the whole game.
Yeah. He has been for
left back.
The other left back we've gone for is Ashley Young, who in my opinion had a fantastic game. Apart from his little word with Dele Alli.
I enjoyed that actually.
That was good. But he had a really good game. Again, it looked like a real creative link for United, and I think played his part in getting the win for them.
Okay, on to the midfield. Fernandinho will be our anchor in midfield. Brilliant performance again. That ball out to Sane for Man City's opening goal was brilliant.
Yeah.
He's so underrated. He links up play excellently for Manchester City, so he deservedly gets his place.
It's been great.
Darren Fletcher will be joining him in that midfield. A lovely goal, Paul Scholes-esque from the corner.
He'd love to hear
And
that.
overall, he had a good game.
He did.
Very,
he
very
was good,
solid.
yeah.
He ran the midfield.
Yeah.
Joining him also is Pablo Gross.
Get him in your fantasy team.
Yeah.
You've heard it there.
I think his name's Pascal, but we'll let you
Pascal, apologies, Pascal. No offence meant. Yep. Great performance.
Yeah, really got the assist, didn't he?
He did indeed.
Yeah, fair play.
We'll share out the forwards. Right, on the right side is Damari Gray, prospering from the new management at Leicester. Claude Puel gave him his chance and he took it. Scored a very good goal. Was a constant threat.
Showing his potential, I think. You don't really see it that lot from him when he was built up so highly, and I'm glad to see he's starting to get some results and performances out.
Yeah.
Yep. Hazard is in there. Show him getting back to his best.
Definitely, rightly so, had a great game.
Good goal, good game,
Yeah.
good performance. And spearheading that front three, not a forward, but he has been deputised there this season, is Leroy Sané.
Yeah.
What a
Man of the
game.
match performance in another amazing Man City
Again.
performance.
What's more?
Got his goal. Brilliant.
Not much more to say, really, is there?
And an assist.
Brilliant.
Got the assist as well, yeah.
That was our team of the week. Premier League predictor results. This is our Premier League predictor results, where we reveal the winner from last week's predictions. The winner was, drumroll please, myself.
Fuming.
Boo.
Got 7 points. Ollie and Sam embarrassed themselves with 4 points.
But I wouldn't go that far.
To be fair, the Brighton-Southampton games won it for me. I went for 1-1. The only man to get a correct score, that's got me the 3 points.
Fair play
It's
to you,
taking
mate.
me to the lead. We are going to do the overall winner after 8 episodes. Is going to receive a free meal deal from both of the other contestants. So
There we go.
we're playing for big bucks here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first win of the season. I'll take that to redeem myself from my poor name the lineup performance. Premier League predictor results. Premier League predictor. This is our Premier League predictor, where you get 1 point for a correct result and 3 points for a correct score. Let's go. Stoke versus Leicester. I'm going 1-1. Sam?
1-0, Stoke.
Ollie?
1-1.
Huddersfield West Brom. I'm going 2-1 Huddersfield. Sam?
1-1.
0-0.
Newcastle Bournemouth. I'm going 2-0 Bournemouth.
1-0 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle.
Southampton Burnley. I'm going 2-1 Saints.
1-1.
1-1.
Swansea Brighton. I'm going for a 2-0 victory to Brighton.
0-0.
2-1 Swansea.
West Ham Liverpool. I'm going 3-2 West Ham.
2-0 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool.
Spurs Palace. I'm going 3-0 Spurs.
3-1 Spurs.
3-0 Spurs.
City Arsenal. Unfortunately, I'm going 3-1 City.
2-1 City.
4-1 City.
Chelsea Man United. I'm going 3-0 Chelsea.
I'm going 2-2.
1-0 United.
Everton Watford. I'm going 2-1 to the Toffees.
2-0 to Watford.
2-1 Watford.
Premier League predictor. That was episode 2 of Let the Ball Do the Work. If you have any suggestions for next week's show, give us a tweet at LTBDTW, the official Let the Ball Do the Work Twitter handle. Thanks for listening. Many happy returns.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.